Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 things you need to do to start a social media marketing agency. So guys, this video is going to be very beginner focused. So if you're thinking about starting a social media marketing agency, you kind of want to tick these 5 things off. So this is very different to kind of how to start a social media marketing agency in the sense that these are the 5 main categories that you need to fix. In a future video, I'm going to take you through the individual steps of how to actually start a social media marketing agency in 2023. But these are the 5 main pillars. So when people ask me, right, Harry, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do to actually get one set up? This is the video for you. So number 1 is absolutely learn your services. You cannot operate a business without a product. It's like Apple launching Apple without having a iPhone or a laptop or an iPod. Like they wouldn't do it. You have to start with your product. You have to define your product, what you're going to offer, to develop the skill that you're then going to sell. It's completely back to front to do it otherwise. So learn your skill. If you decide to offer Facebook ads, or if you decide to offer social media management or Google ads, become an expert in that product. There's no point half-assing it, half learning Facebook ads, half learning Google ads, half learning social media management, because then you're not going to be able to keep clients long term, and your business is going to fall. Like, that's the foundation of your business. The absolute foundation of your business is having a good product and service, because your business is going to rely on that. It absolutely relies on you maintaining a strong service you're going to deliver to your clients. If you don't have that strong service, you're not going to get referrals, you're not going to keep them for very long, they're not going to be happy, your brand's going to get affected because you're not delivering what you say you're going to deliver. So absolute step 1, invest the time and money, if you have to, into building that skill set, so you're ready to deliver that service for yourself, rather than just starting an agency and thinking, right, I'm going to hire 10 contractors, outsource all the work, and then lose clients after 3 or 4 months because you're terrible at managing people, and those contractors, you didn't qualify them in the best way, and they weren't even educated. And even if you do go down that route, which people are successful at, you're not going to have the skill set to oversee what's happening because you don't understand what they're actually doing. So either way, no matter what route you go down, whether you listen to us and do it in-house to start with and hire an in-house team, or go down the contracting route, you need to understand the service that your business is based around. It's an absolute essential. So that's step 1, learn your services. Number 2 is build your social profiles. So once you've learned your service, it's then going to come down to selling your service. And you can't sell your service without having professional profiles set up. So you're going to need a professional LinkedIn profile, you're going to need a professional Instagram profile, you're going to need to tidy up your Facebook page so there's not loads of pictures of you out partying or just inappropriate images. You need to build your brand, your personal brand, around your agency, because that's going to be a big part of it. Like, if you're outreaching to businesses, they're going to look at you because primarily they're going to be investing in you. You're going to be the biggest USP of your agency at the forefront, at the front end, that people are going to be investing in. They're not necessarily going to go diving into Facebook ads. They're going to dive into Facebook ads because of who you are and how you've portrayed your product and service. So go through all of your social profiles, clean up your digital image, clean up your Facebook page, make a new Instagram profile for your business. Get a good profile picture made, professional. Doesn't necessarily have to be you in a suit, but just professional, where you're smiling, you look professional, you're smart, you're not drinking or smoking, or you've got inappropriate Instagram bios. Like, I've seen people outreach before and they've said, Harry, why can't I sign a client through Instagram DMs? And I've said, send me the Instagram you're reaching out to, and his Instagram bio, I swear down, said smoke blunts every day. Like, that's so inappropriate to be reaching out to businesses across a business relationship with that kind of stuff in your profiles. So step 2, build your Instagram profiles, optimize it for keywords, fill it out properly, spend a good 2 hours. That's arguably more important than your website. And kind of go from there. Number 3 is build your corporate veil. So what I mean by corporate veil is how your business is perceived. So you've just, step 2 was building your personal brand in a way, or setting up some kind of personal brand of how they perceive you. Now it's setting up how they perceive your agency. And this doesn't mean setting up a really extravagant website. That's not what I mean. I actually recommend only creating a website if you can get it done in a couple of days. If it's going to take you months and months and you're going to try and make it perfect just to show your nan and your brother, that you've got an agency, just don't bother. Hardly any clients are going to actually visit your website. I was bringing in $10,000 a month from my agency before I even had a website. I had a very basic funnel that no one ever even saw, just so I could have the business manager. So yeah, don't spend loads of time on that, but create a domain so you're not sending an email from a Gmail email. So it should be harry@yourbusiness.com. Set that up through GoDaddy. There's loads of videos on YouTube how to set that up. Create a website if you can do it really in a really short period of time. Definitely get a logo made, make one on Canva or get one done on Fiverr for like £20, $25 or whatever. And then that's your corporate veil. So you now have a product to offer because you've got your services made and you've actually got a business. You've got something that someone can pay you for. That's absolutely step one. Step two is cleaning up your digital presence as the business owner, so you're perceived in a professional manner. That's going to be even more important if you're a younger person starting an agency, because to make yourself be taken more seriously, and then setting up the corporate veil of your actual agency so that the agency's seen in a professional light and you're a real business too. Now it's time to tell the world that you have an agency, to start getting some paying clients. So number two is having a clear sales strategy. And this encompasses many different things. This is kind of having a blueprint that you know works on how you're actually going to acquire clients on a repeat basis long term. You need to have this set in stone. You need to know that it works, and you need to have it ready to hit the ground running when clients come through your door. So you need to have a process of where you're going to find clients. So firstly, you need to choose the niche that you're in. And this wasn't one of the points because I want to encompass it into this. Choose the niche you're in. And what I mean by that is just choose an industry, whether you're going to go after fencers, whether you're going to go after landscapers, whether you're going to go after kitchen fitters, e-commerce brands, whatever it is, pick that industry. And the reason why we do that is because it's going to be a hell of a lot easier getting more clients in the same industry, because you can leverage the case studies from the first client. You then need to build a list of people in that industry that you're then going to contact. You then need to find, right, kitchen fitters. I know that they're potentially on LinkedIn, but the best way to contact them, the best answer rate for that specific industry, is through cold calling. So you then need to match an outreach method that's more suited to that niche and to that industry, which is a super crucial stage. And that's just going to be down to research and potentially even testing the water, trying out for a week. Day one of the week, I'm going to do Instagram DMs. Day two, I'm going to do email outreach. Day three, I'm going to do cold calls. Day four, I'm going to do LinkedIn messages, and then see, right, I got this many responses for LinkedIn, this many for cold calling, this many meetings booked, and then I found out, right, that's the outreach method for this industry. And then what you need to do before you actually do the outreach, you need to understand what you're actually going to do and what that sales process is. So it's all well and good you ringing them up and saying, hi, do you want social media marketing done? They're not going to say, yes, send me the contract now. You're going to have to do a meeting. You're going to have to get on a Zoom call and present your services and then pitch them. Because on that initial outreach, you're pitching the meeting rather than the actual service. So before you actually go ahead and do this outreach, you need to have a plan for that meeting, because he could book it later that day. Ideally, it could be later that day. It usually isn't. It's usually, later in the week, early next week. But if they can do it that same day, it's going to be so essential that you have that presentation or that meeting strategy and how you're going to close them, how you're going to combat objections like your price is too high. All of these things you need to have down to a T, so that you can just keep these meetings coming in and you don't have to worry about it. So you need to have a presentation made. You need to have potentially, plan potential objections that you might get in the meeting and how you're going to combat them, how you're going to close them. Do you have your contracts made? Do you have a way to send your invoice? Do you know how to onboard them? Do you have a list of how you're going to onboard them? How you're going to get access to their business manager? How you're going to get all of their images off them? How you're going to build their offers? Like, all of this stuff you need to have planned so that you can hit the ground running. Because if you don't have that planned, that client on the meeting is going to sense that you're not prepared and you've never done this before. So it's super important. And that kind of preparation and that sense of preparation leads me back to my first point in how can you do a sales call without understanding the service you're offering? Because they're going to quiz you on Facebook ads. They're going to be like, right, what can I really expect? How many people am I going to reach? What's a good click-through rate? What's a good cost per click? How many leads can I expect through for a certain budget? What budget do you recommend? If you don't have that knowledge, they're never going to sign with you. So when people say, I've started outreach, but I don't know Facebook ads and I don't know what to do on the presentation, well, that's because you've done it in the complete wrong way round. I've actually had someone message me, not an Academy member, just an out of the blue message on Instagram saying, Harry, I've booked a meeting tomorrow with a business. What do I do on it? I don't know how to do Facebook ads. And I said, well, Well, you can't. You're going to have to cancel that meeting. You're going to have to go back, understand Facebook ads, build an actual strategy. Because if they signed with you, you're just going to be in the dark. You're going to be like, now what? What am I going to do? Find a contractor that hope he has a good strategy. And when he inevitably doesn't have a good strategy, because strategies are always changing and 99% of people don't know what they're doing with Facebook ads, you're just going to fall flat on your ass and you're just going to lose that client. So put the time and effort in to learn the service so you have a really good sales strategy and you can just fly through those meetings. And then finally, my point 5, which really should have come before point 4, is a sales script. So what you're actually going to say to get people on the call. So like I said, you're not going to sign a contract and get an invoice paid over that initial cold call or that initial DM. You're going to have to get them onto a meeting. And that's actually a very difficult part of it. Getting them on the meeting is almost the hardest part. Once Tom and I get people on a meeting, we close 75% of them if they're qualified, 75 to 85% of them. Not necessarily right away, but over the next year, 75% or 85% of clients do actually come on board with us, providing those are qualified meetings. So for us, the hardest part, even though we've got it down to a T now and all of our academy members do, is what to say on an Instagram DM, what to say on a cold call, what to say on a LinkedIn DM or a LinkedIn connection to get that connection, to get them to agree to a meeting, and then to get them to show up to a meeting. So you need to put the work in to build that strategy and build, right, this is the pain point I'm going to hit. This is the offer I'm going to showcase in this outreach method. This is how I'm going to get them on the call. So all of those things come into play to build your overall strategy of, right, before watching this video, I didn't have a clue on how to do anything. Now I've got my service because I know exactly how to run Facebook ads, Google ads, sales funnel creation. I've got how I'm going to price it. This is my product. Job done. Now I've built me as a personal brand, me as a person. I'm perceived in a professional manner. And my agency is too, because I've built that corporate veil. I've got a domain. I've got a reasonable website. I've got a logo made, color palettes, branding, all of that good stuff. So that's all done. Now I've got a sales message that I know will book meetings on repeat. I've got a strategy of how I'm going to find these leads through LinkedIn Sales Navigator or other lead generation softwares. I've got the lead list. I've got a message to send them to book them on meeting. And on the meeting, I know how to convert them. I know how to close them because I've got a good presentation, good closing strategy, good objection handling, and knowledge on, right, this is when the strategy session after you've signed the contract is going to happen. This is what I'm going to need from you. This is how I'm going to onboard you. Job done. Now it's back to the service delivery and get them unbelievable results so they continue as a client. Those are the 5 steps that you need to have nailed in order to grow and scale a successful social media marketing agency in 2023. So hopefully you enjoyed that video, guys. Hopefully that put things in a bit of perspective and you can kind of knock off those 5 pillars in terms of what you need to learn before you actually go ahead and take the leap. If you've not watched my previous video, it was on how I signed my first £1,500 a month client. Make sure you subscribe. We're posting every single day at 9 a.m. for the foreseeable future on everything SMMA, everything digital marketing, everything sales, to really help you out on growing and scaling your social media marketing agency in 2023. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.